Hey, what's up, Skullomaniacs? Jay Fisk here. Uh, just want to let you guys know that me and G Money, he's not going to be known as G Money no more. It's going to be known as Castle with a K and all that. And I would like to still take this time to apologize for us taking so long with videos. We are trying to do our best to upload as much as we can. It's just that work got us dragged out because of the income tax season. And as you could tell a little bit in my voice, I'm kind of sick. I'm recovering from it. And yeah. Um, Today I would like to talk about discrimination. Because there's a lot of that, and I see it everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. Everywhere. And it's mostly about men. Cheating, lazy, shit like that. And it kind of bothers me because, men are the same way as some women are. Not dramatic and shit, but even though they are guys like that. But no, I mean sometimes there's even men innocent in their relationships. Like they don't do anything but provide, love, care, and be faithful. And then it will be the woman that's always fucking up here, putting their man through some shit that they didn't even have to go through. What else? What else? Like money wise, like if the man is providing, but yeah, you're not trying to do anything so you could, help provide. Like if you have a child, an apartment, for rent, cars, all that. And I see that men mostly get blamed for all that when there are women out there that are the same way, especially if they have children and all that. And yeah, I'll say it. Guys cheat. Some of us are dumb, dense, and we do some stupid shit. So it is true. Some guys actually think with their second head. You know, but not all men are the same. Like the same thing with women. Not all women are the same. Cause God forbid you tell women that they're all the same, it's a wrap. You get yelled at, you get beat up for that type of shit in any way, which is kind of fucked up. Like when you say, "Oh, you guys are the same," we look at each other and be like, "No, the fuck we ain't," or we'll bust around about it. But when it comes to stuff like that, like serious accusations like that, I don't like it because it's like basically the women aren't giving the men chances to try to do better. Like I said, like for me, for instance, my baby moms could tell you, me and her, we're not together, but she could tell you that I am a good man. Because, when she was with me, I took care of her. I made sure she ate. I made sure, men shit. Like it was hard for me to look for a job at the beginning. Because, I didn't graduate school or anything like that. So it was harder for me to look for a job because you need a diploma or anything like that. But yeah, we split up because of some BS here and there. I'm not gonna name it now because right now that's still kind of like fresh and all that. And yeah, we went our separate ways and all that. But she knows that for my son, I would provide. She can't say that I'm a deadbeat dad, and she provides for our son too. So I can't say she's a deadbeat mom or anything like that. I don't like showing that I'm better or not. All parents are different, especially if they're single parents. They're all different. Like me, everything's for my son. When I have him with me and all that, everything's for him. All my money goes into him. I barely buy myself clothes, sneakers, and stuff like that. Mostly what I buy is like deodorant, body wash, shampoo, or etc. Hygiene stuff. While for my son, I buy him his clothes, sneakers, diapers, wipies, food, anything. And then the occasional toy here and there whenever I go to Walmart or the mall or whatever. I assume my baby mom does the same thing because when she has them, I really don't communicate with her all like that. because she does the same with me. She barely communicates with me, but we know that our son is okay. That neither one of us will hurt him. And yeah. But yeah, she can't say I'm a deadbeat and I can't say she's a deadbeat. So yeah, right there we're equal. Women nowadays complain that there's no equal rights or anything like that. You guys can have equal rights, but you guys also must have equal responsibility. Because there's a lot of bullshit out there that, men are still getting in trouble for, knowing that women do it too. You know, but mostly is about father bullshit. You know, like on my Facebook, I see women that were with their men for a long, long time, have kids with them and all that, and their relationship fell apart. And when they fall apart, when their relationship fall apart, when they've been with that person for so long, of course, I will see they'll post up stuff saying that they're hurt, that all men are the same, this and that, blah, 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 whatever. But it doesn't mean that all men are the same. Because you got some that are sensitive, you got some that are tough guys, and you have some that are both. Okay? Like me, I'm both. If I want to be sensitive, I could be sensitive. But if I want to be tough, I could be tough. It's never a front with me. Some of us guys try to do our best when it comes to our kids and all that. Some women use our kids against us. Or the other way around too. Dad used their kids against the mom and all that, which isn't cool at all. Guys and, the parents should be able to come together, talk, parent to parent, adult to adult, not act like children and argue and fight about any little thing. Like, yeah, some, they can't be around each other for shit because of, problems. All right, which is understandable. But, you got to at least find a way to communicate because you have kids with that person. Like, yeah, you could, it doesn't have to be you exactly. It could be you talking to a guy, a godparent, or talking to their grandparents, all that type of bullshit. There's always a way to communicate. Like, yeah, you have sometimes that they're stubborn, where you try to communicate, they don't want to hear that bullshit. Happens both ways. Men and women do the same shit. Women have this idea, some women have this idea where they want to raise their kid by themselves. Not realizing that raising a kid is not as easy as some people make it look. Especially when you're struggling with a job, paying rent, bills, car insurance, all that. That stuff is hard. Like me, when me and my baby mom split up, I found an apartment for me and my mother. My mother lives with me because she really had nowhere else to go, all like that. And she noticed I needed help because the apartment I have, it's pretty spacious and all that. So the rent's a little up there, but it's not too bad, And I only pay one bill. Some people get lucky and they have stuff like that, but, but still. Just don't throw each other under the bus, Because both try. Like, yeah, sometimes there's deadbeat parents out there. Like dads that don't want nothing to do with their kids. Moms that don't want to do nothing with their kids. And it sucks because why would you put time into making a kid together, and not be there? Like, I know at weddings you get cold feet, but giving birth to a child, to your child, or if you're giving birth to that person's child or whatever, that's time and pain, And I've seen women sometimes give up their kids because, they have no choice. Some give it up because they don't want it because their dad's long gone or whatever, which is still kind of messed up. Or the least favor of everything is abortions. I don't support it, okay? But if you're going to do it, be about it. Don't chicken out, But don't tell me about it either because that's going to just strike a whole nerve in me and it's, it's terrible. I've seen too many kids, pass away. May they rest in peace and all that. And it's terrible. It's not a nice thing, you know. And for me, being a father, that strikes hard because, my dad, all right, he wasn't the greatest dad. Yeah, when I was smaller, he wasn't really there because he was doing other stuff, which I don't know exactly what, because, I wasn't around for that long to know what he does and all that. And I don't want to listen to nobody because most of the time it'll be lies, made up shit, and all that. So I don't pay no mind to that. All I know him is the way I've known him from being with him and all that. And my dad always told me, he says, hey, when you grow up and you become a father, I want you to be a better father than me. Which I gotta actually say I've been doing a very good job, and I'm, staying focused on that. That's like the sole reason why I'm still single, because I want to put all my attention into my son. Now, some of you may know my son has stage 2 autism. Okay, so I support people like that. I've always have. Even in school, when the kids of special ed used to come by, I used to say hi to them, how they doing and all that. And then my son turning out to be one of them, I can't show my son to discriminate. I don't like that. Yeah, my son drives me nuts and all that, and he's a pain, but hey, that's my son. I asked for that. Because, God sent me a gift. When my dad passed away, he knew I was lonely, and he blessed me with a child. Which how all men and women should feel, that at least they were able to have kids, because there's some people out there that can't. Men shooting blanks and women, not being able to get fertilized or whatever. But, yeah. And that stuff is terrible, and like I said, there's a lot of discrimination about that, because all I see mostly is being talked about is about guys being that way. Women, you have the same bullshit too. Like, you guys think that us guys don't get hurt like the way you do. We do, all right. And to prove it too, I have a book here. Well, not a book, but it's a booklet that has a bunch of different stories in it. Okay? It's called Signs of the Times. Okay? And let's see. There's a place in here that I always like to read that struck hard home, because it's about fathers. It's a little story called Dad's Hurt Too. Just in case for the women out there that don't think that some men could feel the pain of losing a child or whatever through some petty bullshit. Okay? Now, I guess the author of this is Lynn Medhurst, I believe. And it says Dad Hurts. And it says, what do you do when you inadvertently brush up against a stranger's pain? This booklet basically talks about how another man felt another father's pain and all that. I'm not going to read it because it's too damn long and all that, but basically it just talks about how this man was on the phone crying and arguing with his baby mom, about their kid, that he's not allowed to see him and all that, and nothing was done through court. So he's on the phone crying, and this other man is watching, or I don't know if it's a man or a woman. And this person came up to that, distressed man and says, "Sir, do you mind if I give you a hug?" The man says yes. He gives him a hug, and all he started crying even harder and harder and harder. And the man asks, how did you know I needed that hug? And he says, I could see it on your face that you were in pain, and because I've been through the same thing as you. Now, when I read that booklet, that struck hard home, because as a father, if it were me, I would need a hug. But the same thing in that booklet happened to me in real life. Well, more or less, I was the one hugging the person. Because one day I went to the mall, and the benches that they have there and all that, where the trees are at, whatever, and all that. And I was just sitting there waiting for my mom, I believe, that was shopping. And some lady sat behind me, red hair, beautiful young lady. I believe that she's young, but but I hear her crying. Now, mind you, I don't like any just random altercations, but the lady was crying, and and I overheard her conversation because she was kind of being loud, but not too loud where she was a disruption in the mall. But I hear her yelling at her baby daddy, talking about their kid and all that, saying how he's not letting her see him and all that, how he's not letting her do anything with him and all that, and that his grandparents are basically in control of their child and all that. And I'm just like, damn, man, that sounds really familiar. So I walked up to this lady. At first, she was like creeped out, like, who the hell are you? But then I just told her with a nice, calm voice, I said, excuse me, miss. I see that you are distressed and all that. Do you mind if I give you a hug? Mind you, at first, the lady was a little, reluctant. But then I guess she must have realized right then and there, oh God, I must have been kind of loud. So she allowed me to hug her. And she started crying even harder. And I said, everything will be okay. All right? Everything will be fine. And, we got to talk a little bit and all that. And she was fine. She walked away and all that. And basically, I guess she was satisfied of the way I talked her down. But that stuff is real. In the booklet, it was a man. But in my experience, it was a woman this time. That's how I know men and women experience the same things, whether they know it or not. That's why I get kind of upset when women signal out men and all that, but they don't realize that there's women like that as well. And it bothers me a little bit because, all right, some of these people may know me and they know, oh yeah, he's a great guy. He's funny, whatever. And, they don't know me to be an asshole like that. Like, ever since my son was born, I dropped everything. I dropped my friends because they turned out to be backstabbers. I dropped everything for my son. Like I said before, it was hard to look for a job to provide, but I still have got one. And I do everything for my son. Everything. And with the help from my mom and all that, when I have him, he has everything he needs. And I make sure that all the time, every week, and all that. Now, another discrimination that really bothers me too. When women say the type of man that they like, knowing that type of man is probably not the greatest. Like, look at me, I'm a big guy, I'm heavy set and all that. They won't take one glance at me. They'll take one glance, maybe, but then look away because of my size. Women will mostly be with a guy that's really skinny, or they're really like husky, or cut up with tattoos and a beard. Women and men have high standards of the opposite sex, no matter what. Me, I don't care, because I don't go what's on the outside. I go from what's inside. Okay? And, some people be like, oh, but this person's this person's that. And I said, it doesn't matter. I didn't fall in love with the way they look. I'm not with somebody for their body, their face, or whatever. I'm with their personality. I like a woman with brains. Like, we'll argue if she tries to correct me or whatever, but it's whatever. It's a fun argument. But, yeah. That's one other thing, too, is that there's a lot of discrimination about men being plus-sized. And me being a plus-sized kind of guy, yeah. I can't cheat on nobody because, like I said, no other girl would look at me because of my size. You know, my mom bothers me. She says, "Oh, lose weight, and you'll start getting girls again." I was like, "No, a girl will love me the way I am now, than actually love me when I have everything." You know, I want a girl that would love me through my struggles to my success. That's the type of girl I would look for, and I'm sure there's some men and women that want that from the opposite sex as well. You know, but too many high standards, and that messes with everything. You know, like I had to put down my standards because, you know, no such women exist like that. And if they do, people already have gotten them, or they're lesbian because of, you know, either they were, you know, turned lesbian or whatever. However they want to go about it. I don't know much about it, which I still support. You know, support them. No discrimination with them. You know, my brother, you know, is gay, and I have no issues with it. I love him to death either way. You know, we may fight and all that, but whatever. Um, but yeah, discrimination like that pisses me off. Weight, father, mother, whatever, all that type of stuff pisses me off because we shouldn't be putting labels on people whatsoever. Like, you know, how women like men that beat them, which is weird. You know, some women like a bunch of different shit that men do that aren't good in other people's eyes. You know, and then when somebody tries to help them, they argue with that person, and that person just be like, you know what, fuck you then. And then when the last minute comes where they need that person's help and that person's not there, you know, and it's terrible. It's really terrible, and it's the same thing with men. You know, there are men that actually get abused by their women, and which is terrible. You know, like some women won't believe that, but that shit does happen. You know, and that's just not fun either. You know, and it's sad to know that there's not a men's in crisis building anywhere because some of you women are ruthless. But yeah, that's too much. It's too much. That's what I gotta say. Women, you gotta lower your standards. Men, you gotta lower your standards because you ain't gonna find nobody like that. You know, and if you do, amen. You know, but and the thing about your kids, man, always be there. Don't leave them part like that, man, because that's not right. Because that shit fucks with them in the future. Because then in the future, when you're regretting it and you come back, who's that? You know, the kid's gonna look at you like, who's that? And the other parent won't know what to say. You know, because then that child will be believing that that other parent is their parent, knowing that that's their step parent, which is terrible. You know, stuff like that happens in real life. You know, and that's how some fights happen and all that, and it's terrible. It's not right, not right. You know, and then there's women smack talking their baby dads, and then there's baby dads smack talking their baby moms. You know, me, I don't smack talk about my baby moms at all because I don't need to. You know, I don't do none of that type of bullshit. I assume that she doesn't either, you know, so yeah. But you gotta do what you gotta do for your kids. Always be there for them, no matter what. You know, and men and women, like I said, lower your standards, and I bet you'll find the perfect someone for you guys. You know, so keep on looking. And on one final note, we will be posting up more videos for you guys. We're doing our best. G Money, aka Mr. Castle with a K, will be posting informative videos and all that. Baby Rose will try to start posting up videos. Is that she's just been busy too. As of right now, she's not working with us. I believe she works with some other place. Yeah. And this is the start of the Chronicle of Jay Fisk. Peace out, Skullomaniacs, and have a Skullos day.